Hi you guys, welcome. This is Jessica and we're Good Wolf live video. Tonight we're going to do a little meditation and some restorative movement. So I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit. Can you guys hear okay? If you can, say yes. Some of you guys may be on by now. When you go ahead and join us, I want you to have a blanket. You know, a blanket, you might need to get a beach towel if you don't have one. So take a second, go off to your bathroom, or maybe pull a quilt or something if that's available. If you have a bolster, that's great. Maybe a yoga block could work too, if you want to go ahead and grab one of those. As you're coming in, if you could let me know if you could hear me, somebody could give me some feedback on that, that would be super great. So go ahead and get your stuff set up if you have it. Try to find a nice wall space to sit next to. When you have that, just go ahead and sit maybe up against the wall, sit on your bolster, get as close as you can so that you're comfortable. Do something so that temperature maybe feels nice for you. Something that helps you feel kind of cozy. And then when you have that, settle in, take some deep breaths. We're going to give it a few moments so that people can get settled. While we wait for everybody to get settled, I'm going to come in closer so I can see what some of the comments are. See if anybody needs anything else. Let's see. Hey Angie, hi Rose, hey Robin. You guys can all hear okay when I'm back up against the wall? All right. So find yourself in a comfortable sit. Shift things around a little bit so that you really feel your hips, your seat touching the mat. Legs can be folded in front of you. If you prefer something a little different, that's okay too. Just go ahead and sit in a way that really feels comfortable. And then I want you to just take a look around your room. See whatever the walls are. Make sure your doors are closed. Maybe even locked for a moment if that's what you need. And then when you have that, go ahead and close your eyes. Softly closed. And if it's a little uncomfortable to close your eyes, just look down at the floor in front of you. Maybe off to the side a little bit. Just so it's a soft, gazeless gaze, nothing that's really distracting. Let your eyes relax. And breathe in. Big breath out. Breathe in again. And then out. Start to notice what the sensations are on the inside. Notice if there's any tension that you have going on in your body. Whether that's something that's tight in the hips or back. If you need to make some adjustments and maybe take a blanket or a towel that you have close by, fold it up, slide it right underneath your hips. Once your hips are elevated, it'll take some of the pressure out of your back. So make whatever adjustments that you need. And then start to scan again and see maybe if there's something in the shoulders, if you need to roll them up and back. Maybe gently twisting a little to each side. Try to work out some kinks so that muscles can start to relax. And you can take the awareness deeper inside, maybe to what your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and see what's there. Just maybe notice first the quality of your thoughts. Are they coming fast or slow? If your thoughts are maybe racing, coming really fast, then rate that something like a 10. We're going to use a 1 to 10 scale. If they're coming really slow, then give that a 1. And you're probably somewhere in between. There's no need to change it, just kind of know what it is. Keep that rating with you, and then we'll move over to what's the emotional tone. If you're feeling super anxious, then that's going to be a 10. And then if you're just really calm, very relaxed, that would be a 1. And I'm just asking you to know what it is, give it a rating, and then put that information aside for now. And then take your awareness back to your breath. Feel the breath come in and expand through the sides of your body. And then feel the belly relax when your breath leaves. And so the breath doesn't have to be very big, or it doesn't have to be very forceful. Just an easy breath where you feel it fill you up, and then gently leave. And then for your next breath in, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to hold 2, 3, 4, and let it go. And hold the breath out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And in the same way, inhale to 4, and hold it in for 4 as best you can. And let it go for 4. And hold it out. And then at your own rate, do 1 more round, counting to yourself. And then I'd like for you to set an intention for your practice. Call to mind a short statement. Try to use positive language, simple language, something that you can easily remember. And then when you have that intention, just state that in your own consciousness. And then bring your hands right into your heart center where you feel your heartbeat with your thumbs. And inhale, take your arms out and up over your head. You'll look up. Touch your palms together. And then drop your right hand down. Stretch your left arm over your head. Inhale, you come back up to the top. Reach up again. Maybe arch your back, lift your gaze. Drop your left hand down. Stretch your right arm over. And let your next inhale take you back up to the top. Reach the arms up. And then turning to your right, bring your left hand to your right knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Inhale, sit tall. And then as you exhale, turn your gaze over your shoulder. Inhale, reach your arms back up. And then exhale to change sides. You're turning to your left. Inhale, get tall through your spine. Exhale, turn your gaze over your left shoulder. And then 1 more round, reaching up. Exhale, twisting right. Inhale to center, reach up. Exhale to your left. inhale, coming back into neutral. So have your legs gently crossed in front of you, maybe something like easy sit or Sukhasana, kind of like crisscross applesauce legs. Put the one that's most comfortable in front. Grab a bolster or a pillow if that's handy. If not, it's really not necessary. You don't need to get up. Having that right in front of you, stretch your heart and belly over the bolster. Drop your gaze down so that you're looking down. I'm going to keep looking forward. You won't hear me very well if I put my gaze down towards the mat. But you go ahead and drop your head down. If you want to grab a block and use that to support your forehead, that's going to feel quite nice too. Then drop the weight of your hips. And then relax your shoulders. And so if your elbows or arms are supporting your body up in any kind of way, it's okay to wiggle those out of the way and maybe let the bolster or just kind of gravity take over more of your weight. And breathe in. And then take a big exhale. Breathe in again, feel your belly pressing into the bolster or the blanket or maybe even your leg. And let it go. Start to roll yourself up again using a big inhale, stacking up one vertebra at a time till you're sitting up. Move your props around. Do what you can to swap your legs around. You'll have the funny leg in front. It's going to feel a little bit weird. Take some time to adjust things. And if you're using bolster or other props, pull that back into place, folding again, this time with the opposite leg in front. Settle in, drop the weight of your head, soften your shoulders, and let your hips get real heavy. Feel the breath come in and expand through the back of your lungs as though it's stretching out the space between your shoulder blades. And feel everything soften again when you exhale. And stay here for just a few more rounds of breath, going in and out at your own pace. When you inhale again, roll yourself back up to the top, stacking up one bit of your spine at a time till your head comes up last. And moving slowly, we will shift props, blankets, bolsters off to the side. If you're up against a wall space, we're going to legs up the wall pose. Many of you guys that came to restorative are familiar with this. If you've not been to restorative practice and you're familiar with waterfall from our traditional practices, it's just like waterfall, except your hips and your legs will go up the wall. I'll go into the pose and just kind of demonstrate it, and then I'll come back out of it so that I can talk to you guys clearly again. Easiest way to get to it is to sit up on the side of the wall, pivot your body. You'll want to rest your heels up against the wall. Take some time to shift and move your hips as close as you can to the wall. And so if your hips are all the way touching the wall, then you probably have a lot of flexibility in your hamstrings. If this is really uncomfortable, go ahead and back yourself up a little bit. Pull your hips away from the wall. Softly bend your knees. It could be maybe a little micro bend in the knees just to sort of release any hamstring tension that you have right there. If you're not able to get up against a wall, maybe you're on a patio or in the kitchen or something, if it feels comfortable, you can use a chair. You can put your hips back on the floor, rest your calves maybe on the seat of the chair. If that feels comfortable, you can try that one out too. But I'd like for you to just lay there for a moment and feel the change of the blood flow. It's rushing from your legs back towards your torso so that your heart can kind of recirculate a lot of that blood and get it going through your body in a more efficient way again. Give yourself some rest. And breathe. Notice how there's a bit of a change of sensation in the legs. It might show up at first as just a change of the energy. Could be a change of temperature. And you might need to adjust some things a little bit. Maybe you'll need to shift your shoulders a little bit side to side, making some space there, spreading out your lats. You might need to squeeze and release the toes to kind of settle in a little bit better. All of that's okay. And then when it feels really comfy, take a deep breath in. And then a slow exhale, letting yourself feel just a little bit heavier. Soften your belly. And drop the weight of your shoulders. Relax your forehead. Let your legs feel heavy too. And with your mind's eye, imagine the head of your femur. It's the top of your leg bone, right where it connects into your hip. So you might imagine what that looks like and how the muscles of your hips can soften here, making some space, reducing some tension, and letting the top of your leg just fit safely, easily back into space. And breathe in. And let it go. Breathe in so deeply again that you feel as though it wants to stretch down to your hips. And exhale like you're letting go of something that's tight, resisting. And I'd like for you to stay here for a few more rounds of breath. Taking your awareness back inside of your body. Just being an observer of what's happening. You're an observer of the thoughts. You're an observer of the feelings. You're an observer of sensations. And there's no need to really change anything. You can stay with the images without needing to investigate the source of the images or the feelings. Stay with them as long as you like. See what it would be like to observe without directing. In this way, we practice detachment. It's just a curiosity. And know too that it's okay that your mind wanders off and you'll start thinking about other things that you need to do, just other concerns that you have. And that's okay. Your brain's just doing its job. But every time it wanders off, just be grateful that you noticed. And then call yourself back again. That's the practice of yoga. And then in your own time, begin to deepen your breath. Be aware of the sensation of your breath on your lip, through your airways. Feel how it stretches out the skin around your torso. Start to bring some gentle movement into your fingers, into your toes, your ankles and wrists. And then stretch your arms back behind you. You're just reaching out behind your head. And then on an exhale, pull your knees in one at a time, calling them into the chest. Wrap your arms around your legs, something like a little hug. And it might feel nice to rock a little bit side to side with your hips still heavy on the floor. And then roll yourself over to either side. Pause there on your side. Give yourself a couple rounds of breath to feel centered, to feel grounded. And when you feel ready, come up to sit. Sit any way that your body feels comfortable. For me, that's usually sitting on a bolster or a block, maybe some blankets instead, legs gently crossed. And then sit tall, as though you're stacking your head over your heart over your hips. Balance the body somewhere between calm and alert. Bring your hands right up to your heart center. Thumbs are right at your heartbeat. And it's just a reminder that you're alive, that you have what you need. And then bring your intention for your practice back. Call that up again. And then I'd like for you to notice, just like you did at the beginning of your practice, where's the emotional tone? You rated it somewhere between a 1 and a 10. And check in again with where you are as you start to close this practice. Notice if it's changed. And do the same for the quality of your thoughts. You rated it somewhere between 1 and 10, with 10 being very fast and 1 being very slow. And just notice if that changed too. And with your hands still at your heart center, calling that intention back one more time. then seeing that intention for all that it is and all that it can be. Turn the corners of your lips up. Keep that smile with you. And then we'll close this practice together. Namaste. So if you guys practice this meditation, stillness, a little bit of restorative with me, take your time sitting right where you are. It's okay to sit there and just kind of let the effects of whatever your experience was in the practice sit with you for a little while. It's not really necessary to hop up and move around. Really, it's just to notice what you've created. I think that's especially important because it reminds us that even when things are kind of nutty and out of control around us, we don't have answers. Even if we weren't in the middle of this coronavirus scare that we have right now, life can still get hectic and crazy. And the breath and the meditation and the gentle movement, the reminder for self-care, those are things that we absolutely can control. Those are things that we can do for ourselves. It affects your perspective. It affects your attitude, how you see things. And that is something that is 100% within your control. And I want you to know that you already have what you need to be able to do that. It's already there with you. The hard part is just taking the time to sit down and be present with those things. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up here in a second. If you have any questions about what this practice was, what it was not, restorative questions, or even the meditative part of this, go ahead and send us a message through social media. We'll get back with you. You can also email us at info@goodwolfpoweryoga.com, and we'll get some more information to you about the meditation and restorative practices. Hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night. My name is Jessica, and I'm one of the instructors at Good Wolf, if you missed that in the beginning of the practice. Thanks for practicing with us, and we'll see you again soon.